Welcome to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. And just a reminder, hey, if you like the show, hit that share button, hit it right now, hit that like button, so that way I know you like the show. Come on now. You can also comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and of course you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, on today's show, we're going to be talking about the vaccine mandate. We're going to be talking about the fact that GE is going to break up into 3 different companies. We're going to be talking about PayPal dropping, the stock price dropping, Tesla's semis, Trump rich tax reversed, and Bitcoin ATM fraud, and of course the Robinhood data breach. All right, let's get into this now. So the S&P, so actually the Dow today, closed down about 112 points. And this is exactly what I said was going to happen if you were watching the show yesterday. I said it's time. It's going to start to taper down. And that's exactly what's happening. Also, the S&P was down 16 points and the NASDAQ was down 95 points. So it's all going to start to drop a little bit now. And it's not going to be major because everybody was like concerned. Is it going to be major? Is it going to be major? No. It's not going to be major. It's just going to be slow drops. Just keeping in mind that that's what's going to happen. And as we get into the next 2 weeks, I'm going to talk about it later. As we get into the next 2 weeks, the market's going to start to go down. So let's talk a little bit about the vaccine mandate. I mean, this stuff just doesn't go away. Once again, the Supreme Leader, President Poopy Pants, has made it clear that not only will you have to comply with his unconstitutional vaccine mandate, but now that a U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit halted the requirements on Saturday, the Supreme Leader says tough. As the Nazi in charge, he is telling you all the companies of 100 employees or more, you must comply or else. Yes, the Supreme Leader is once again channeling non-constitutional dictators of the past to draw up his evil power and tell you that your body is his choice, not yours. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit paused the mandate, writing that the petitions give cause to believe there are grave statutory and constitutional issues with the mandate. Of course there is. It's common sense, but then again, common sense has left the planet a long time ago. The Supreme Leader and his browncoats are suggesting that OSHA is going to be responsible to carry out the plans of firing employees and fining employers of up to $135,000 for their non-compliance. Here you go. Will you be listening to the Supreme Leader and the Nazis, or are you going to not comply? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you're going to comply. Let me know if you're getting the vaccine because you're afraid to lose your job. And let me know also if you're actually going to, if you even got the vaccine. So put it in there. The Supreme Leader is once again making you get mandating the vaccine. Let's see what happens. Let's talk about some other news. GE actually broke up today. So you remember well, not today, but remember the commercial GE, we bring good things to life? You know, unless of course it was the stock, because that didn't work. Look, GE stock tumbled about 2 years ago and settled in the single digits on massive problems. They then had a reverse split a few months ago, and now the company, which stock is actually up about 55% this year for the first time, is splitting into 3 companies. The company will be divided into separate units focused on aviation, healthcare, and energy. GE plans to spin off the healthcare unit by early 2023 and the energy unit by 2024. The company basically said this in a news release today. The history, and I got to tell you, the history of GE is kind of fascinating. Did you know that Edison created the company in the 1800s? You know, of course, it was in the mid-1900s. Wow, it seems so long ago, actually. GE was a leader in appliances and televisions. Almost everyone you knew had a GE appliance or a television at one time. In the 1980s, Jack Welch was made famous as the CEO of GE, and he brought in financial services such as loans and other financial services. Welch also brought the company back into broadcasting when they purchased NBC in early 2000. And they were a major player and it had an incredible value, but then when the financial crisis hit, GE plummeted and could not recover. So in 2008, this was really bad for GE. GE was actually removed from the Dow 30 and has struggled along since. Frankly, I never thought the company was in the amount of trouble that the stock price suggested, but Wall Street managers are definitely fickle, and it is what it is. The company has been plagued by high levels of debt in recent years that have drawn skepticism on Wall Street. The capital structures of the new firms will be announced at a later date. And Culp, the CEO, added on a call with investors that the energy segment will have the least amount of debt. The company said it will use proceeds from the recent sale of its aviation financing unit to pay down debt, with gross debt expected to a total less than $65 billion by the end of 2021. The spin-offs will cause about $2 billion in transaction and operational costs, is what GE estimated. We will see how this turns out. Actually, GE actually hit a high today, 52-week high today of 112.40. But I got to be honest with you, I don't expect it to stay there long, and my buy price is still 80 or below. So if you're looking to get into GE, I'm looking for 80 or below. So PayPal reported revenue growth for the third quarter of 13%, and on Monday it said it was teaming up with Amazon to let U.S. customers pay with Venmo at checkout, starting in 2022. However, initially rising in the extended trading, PayPal shares actually reversed course and fell about 5% after the company issued a revenue forecast for the next year that missed analyst estimates. I couldn't resist. Here's how the company did versus expectations. Earnings per share, $1.11 adjusted versus $1.07 expected, so that's actually really good. The revenue was $6.18 billion versus $6.23 billion. Not a bad difference. The total payment volume rose 26% to $310 billion for the quarter ending September 30th, and the company added 13.3 net new active accounts, bringing the total up to 16 million. PayPal said in a statement. So that's actually really good. So I don't know. It should have been great news, and it should have made the stock go up, but guidance is the issue here. PayPal is concerned with the prospects of a falling economy. On the other side, many are predicting that online sales of all types will be slowing as the Supreme Leader Biden and his Nazi dictator Democrat governors extend more freedoms to what used to be freedom-loving Americans. So basically, stores are going to start opening up, people are going to start going out again, and online is not going to be doing what it did before. So that's the story of why PayPal has dropped. My guess, PayPal will continue to build and expand into new ventures that will make the company grow anyway. Do you remember the Pinterest rumor? It probably still won't happen. So forget about it. Don't worry about it. It ain't going to happen. Hey, real quick, I want to talk about the fact that Trump's rich tax is being reversed. That's right. Trump's rich tax, or tax on the rich, is being reversed. Hey, AOC, did you know that Trump had put a hidden tax that taxed the rich? Yeah, the rich. Like your dumb dress that says tax the rich. When Trump was in office, he lowered the SALT deduction to $10,000 minimum. Let me explain this one. SALT deduction, which stands for state and local tax deductions, was a deduction that anyone with a house that paid SALT taxes could write off their federal taxes. For example, if you paid $22,000 in taxes on your $1 million home in New Jersey, you would get a tax write-off for that $22,000. Imagine if you had a $4 million home with a $50,000 in taxes, you would get a write-off for that $50,000 as well. Well, what do you mean? You don't have a $4 million home? Well, I guess only the rich have those homes. So when Trump changed the law to give everyone a maximum of $10,000 deduction off their federal return, no matter how much the tax actually was, that means that the $50,000 deduction would only be a $10,000 deduction. So the rich were taxed higher if they owned an expensive home. Do you know that tax the rich dumbocrats just reversed this law? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm really excited about this because I lost a lot of the tax deductions with Trump's tax the rich SALT rule. But seriously, the people who scream tax the rich are the ones who reversed it. Oh, the hypocrisy. They are now lowering their tax revenue. The revenue that would pay for the $1 trillion infrastructure plan. Anyway, the new SALT deduction will have a maximum of $80,000 or 8 times less taxes than Trump was charging the rich. No joke. Listen to these Democrats. Listen to this, right? We have been fighting this unfair targeted tax since its inception in 2017, said Representative Josh Gothamer, Democrat in New Jersey. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back in just a few minutes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, did you get your vaccine yet? You're supposed to put it in the comment box, or you say if you're going to ignore, or actually, you know what, just put in, let's go Brandon if you don't want to get your vaccine. That's fine. So far we've been discussing that vaccine mandate and how the Supreme Leader says, even though the court overturned the ruling, you still need to get the vaccine because he said so. I don't even know if he remembers that he said so, but that's life. Anyway, we talked about the fact that GE is going to be breaking up into 3 companies. We talked about the fact that PayPal dropped. We talked about the Trump tax the rich plan was reversed by the Democrats who want to tax the rich. I still don't get that. Coming up, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin ATM fraud, Robinhood's data breach, and of course, the wrap-up show. I mean, the wrap-up of the day, whatever, and what my stocks picks are. But first of all, did you hit that share button? Hey, hit that share button, hit that like button. Let me know you enjoy the show. Of course, you can also leave comments, and I'll try to respond to them live. So show me some comments, show me some love. I want to see that you guys are watching it. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin and ATM fraud. So look, Bitcoin was simply developed to be an uncentralized form of currency, and it works so well that money launderers, drug runners, and other nefarious people are using it to traffic money. Did you know that you could actually buy $900 of Bitcoin per day at any ATM without ID and send it anywhere without it being tracked? All you need is a phone number. Remember, you can also send it to your own Bitcoin wallet as well. So you can take money to an ATM, deposit it as a Bitcoin purchase transaction, and then send it to yourself and keep it in your private Bitcoin wallet, and no one will know. You can then use that Bitcoin purchase to purchase just about anything when you convert it to cash. Talk about the perfect way to circumvent the $600 bank reporting problem that the Supreme Leader is imposing. It's amazing. So the machines, the ATM machines, mostly located in convenience stores and owned by private companies, allow consumers to easily buy Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies using cash. The funds are then sent to that customer's crypto wallet. But that convenience also means easy money for fraudsters. The fraud, according to law enforcement, has become more pervasive as Bitcoin ATM installations in the U.S. have skyrocketed in recent years. More than 26,000 machines stand today, a spike from 4,200 in January 2020, according to Coin ATM Radar. Well-known companies such as Walmart and Circle K have started installing them. Of course, there is the other well-known scam that asks victims to send Bitcoin to an unknown recipient for things like blackmail or purchases that are fraudulent. Bitcoin and other crypto cannot be traced, and if the Bitcoin is held in what's known as a cold wallet, it can't be found either, because it could be in my drawer, you wouldn't even know. Bitcoin and crypto actually did what it was supposed to do. It made the entire monetary world uncentralized and untraceable. Regulators are trying to solve this problem with, guess what? Regulations. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Meanwhile, Bitcoin hit new highs today of over 68,000 as it heads for 70,000. So Robinhood today, speaking of Bitcoin, had a data breach. So if you have a Robinhood account, investors with accounts of Robinhood may want to take steps to protect their credit. The online brokerage, which has about 18.9 million retail clients, announced today that on November 3rd, a data breach resulted in various information about 7 million customers have been exposed. For 5 million of them, email addresses were accessed, and for another 2 million, they had their full names revealed. Additionally, personal information, including name, date of birth, and zip code, was exposed to about 310 people. There are only 310 people? That's not bad. And about 10 customers had more extensive accounts data revealed. Robinhood said its alerting affected individuals. The company said that based on investigation, no social security numbers were exposed, nor were bank accounts or debit card numbers. Look, I gotta tell you guys, this is a common occurrence these days, and you should know that almost all companies with your data have probably been breached. In fact, I tell you, assume it already happened. What can you do? Well, be smart about your passwords and check your balances and your credit often. Robinhood stock actually only fell a little bit on the news. I was expecting a 2 to 3 point drop today, but Wall Street shrugged it off. I still like Robinhood stock, and I believe it's going to go to about 50 shortly. My bet it would be before the end of January. So if you're into Robinhood stock, it might be a play if you want to do it. All right, let's take another break, and we will be back, and we will talk about my picks for the day and what's going on in the market.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and so far we've been discussing the vaccine mandate, the unconstitutional vaccine mandate that the Supreme Leader says, I don't really care if it's unconstitutional, you have to do it anyway, because even though the appellate court says you can't do it, we're going to make you do it. We talked about the fact that GE is going to be breaking up into 3 companies. We've been talking about the fact that PayPal dropped today on poor guidance because the world's opening back up. We talked about Trump having his, or they talked about the Democrats reversing the Trump rich tax. The hypocrisy amazes me. We talked about ATM fraud, and we also talked about the fact that Robinhood had a data breach. And coming up, we're going to be talking about the wrap-up and my favorite stock picks and where I think you should be going. But first, by the way, did you hit the share button yet? Come on, hit that share button. Let me know you like the show. Leave some comments. Say, hey, Larry, hi. Anything you want to do, just leave a comment. Let me know you're watching. And, of course, you can leave those comments on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or LinkedIn. All right, so what's going on? As I stated yesterday, the market's going to start its decline over the next 2 weeks. This is pretty obvious. This decline is obvious one because the earnings season and wrap-up is here. The earnings season wrap-up is here, I should say. Just remember that the debt ceiling issue is looming again, and it'll start to be discussed in the next few days. You'll start to see it in the news, right? This is where the Democrats and the Republicans will argue over who will be responsible to raise the debt ceiling to pay the prior obligations. All right, you guys ready? So remember, we're going to be having this argument. Who's going to have to do it? I'm going to give you a spoiler alert. Here we go. The Republicans will give in because even if they don't, the Constitution allows the Democrats to use a method called reconciliation to raise the debt ceiling without a vote. So why will the Republicans give in, and why am I telling you this is going to happen? Because it's going to be really simple. Politicians are politicians to the core, right? So Republicans are simply going to say, we did it because we had to. You know, the Democrats spent all the money, but we didn't want to let the economy crash. We didn't want to let the world crash. So we're going to vote it in just because they screwed up, and we're going to let them do what they need to do, and we're going to be the heroes. Watch, you'll see. That's almost exactly what it's going to be. As I said before, I'm mostly in cash, and I'm waiting for the market to turn down a bit. I'm waiting for my favorites like CCL, AAL, Meta, which is Facebook, of course, and Apple to drop a few points, and then I'm going to get them in with some really good options plays. So something you should know, crypto right now, first of all, crypto, I'm in Shiba. Now, Shiba actually popped, just touched 60 millionth of a cent again today, and then it pulled back to 55 millionth of a cent. I don't know what it is with this thing, but I'm really enjoying some of the social media posts on Shiba. Go Shiba Army, go Shiba Army. I wonder if they chant, let's go Brandon, when Shiba is moving up. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, Dogecoin is also holding out between 27 and 28 cents, and it's an interesting play too. But Bitcoin broke records as it heads for 70,000, and I think 70,000 is a no-brainer. And Ether has also broken records as it heads for 5,000, and I think that's a no-brainer too. I think that's going to be right around the corner. All right, I want to thank you again for watching Money Chat Now. By the way, did you hit the share button? Come on, I see you guys watching the show. Hit the share button. Did you hit the like button? Did you leave some comments and let me know how great the show is? Come on, if it's not great, let me know it's bad. I don't care. Have you made any money on some of the tips discussed in the show? If you made some money on them, please leave a comment. Let me know. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. And, of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in the show. The opinions discussed in the show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thanks again for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support. And by the way, just so you know, we are also going to be changing our time. So as of the last week and this month, we're going to be moving to 7:30, and we're going to be simulcast live also on WWDB AM radio. So that's going to be a really cool change for us. We're going to be getting up really early, and we'll see you tomorrow at 4:03.